Hello, my name is Galaxy Wolf 326, aka Robbie. If I sound sick, that's because I am. I've had a fever and my throat is very sore. So today I have done the 11 styles challenge. There can be more or less artists. I don't really care, but I did my style and 11 different artists just to keep it even. First up is my style. I don't really know how to describe my style. It's pretty basic, really. It's kind of like a anime cartoon inspired art style with obviously drawing furries. I guess it's the kind of what my style just is. Later along the line, you'll see some artists that I think you can visibly see the inspiration from. Next up is Kashubal's art style. Absolutely in love. This one personally was very difficult for me because even though I go for more cartoony and anime stuff, I can't do very, very simplified stuff like simple shapes or anything. And their style definitely has more of a chibi-esque appearance. What I think are some identifiers of their art style are the thick lines, and I think the biggest thing is the eyes. The eyes are very unique, very LPS inspired, which I love, I adore. Very chibi, very cartoony, very thick lines. I love it personally. What I did to edit mine really was just make the colors on Galaxy brighter and more saturated. Next up, we're going back to the early to mid 2000s with some Emo Dog art style. With Getchu's, I think that's how you pronounce it, with Getchu's art style. Absolutely like a number one fan, not just of their art style, but they also make adopts and characters. And I love them. I'm obsessed. This one wasn't particularly challenging, mostly because in the past I've drawn like emo, like scene dog artwork before, and I've been, going through their artwork for quite a bit. So, not too much of a challenge, really. The hardest part was really just the getting the pixels right and not getting the colors overlapping and stuff like that. Next up, we have My Absent Love. If you know its old alias, maybe, Tofu Bee. It's been a real big inspiration to me for forever. I remember being obsessed with its animations back in the day. I remember watching, like, all of them all at once. But it has a pretty, it's, like, simple, but still complex. I specifically absolutely adore the way it draws hair. The hair is, like, my favorite thing. The hair and the eyes are my two favorite things of all time, and just how it draws fur in general. This one wasn't too hard since I've known their art style for a while, but it was kind of difficult because I couldn't find any good references because most of the references are heavily watermarked, but other than that was the only challenge I really had. Pretty simple style. I mean, My Absent Love is, like, so good at drawing. I love its art. Next up is Foxy Boxy. This person is probably the person I followed for the most long of all time. I came from YouTube watching her old animations. Their style has evolved so much over the last half a decade, I guess, of or more of following their art style. I went to go with their newer art style instead of the older one because the older one is more cartoony, and as we know from my from Kashubal, I am not good at cartoony. I don't like doing cartoony, mega cartoony stuff. Pretty simple, pretty silly style. I've already done a Foxy Boxy art recreation thing, so I already have some experience doing this anyway. But I like this. This is fun. Next up is Coasty Reef, and I cannot begin to explain how in love I am with their style. I think I discovered them in 2022 or 3, either one of those, but absolutely adore their style. I know I keep saying this, but I am just in love. It's cartoony, but like semi-realistic. My particular loves are the shading. The shading, when they do shaded pieces, is absolutely amazing. Also, their anatomy skills, I could never. It's wonderful. It's magnificent. Right now, I currently have a big interest in the way they do their ref sheets, the way they format it, and the way they, just the ref sheets in general. And the fact that the eyes are so, like, I can draw eyes like those, but they won't look like Coasties because they're so unique in a way that only they can do. Even mine looks slightly off. So it's magnificent. I love this art style. All right, the next one we have is Simp Gamer 777, also known as Anime Girly 2K on Instagram. Absolutely a fan of its art style. In love. However, I think, in my opinion, this attempt is the worst one on the list. I absolutely, no matter how hard I try, cannot efficiently replicate its art style. It's like, I can't. It's terrible. But I tried, and it's not terrible. I don't hate it, but I'm not a fan. So, absolutely in love with its artwork, though. Again, specifically, the shading. Love the shading. Obsessed. I think they have the shading that I most want to be able to replicate in my own style because of just how gorgeous it is. All right, next we got up DJ Kitten M3. I first learned about him through Toy House because he makes some pretty awesome adoptables. Absolutely love their adoptables. Obsessed, really. They make some gorgeous designs. I think I've offered for quite a few of them in the past, actually. And I've even done some artwork for them before. Artwork and GIFs, specifically. But yeah, absolutely. I know I say this for literally every single style, but every style is so unique and interesting and cool. I'm obsessed with all of them. But yeah, their style, I had a quite easy time because their style's pretty similar to mine, all things considered. What was really interesting was studying the shape of the face and also how they draw fur. Those were the two main interesting things that I got from replicating his style. Next up is Laven's. I think that's how you pronounce it. Laven's art style. Very, very unique. It's like this amazing twist of cartoon meets semi-realism. The face, obviously, very cartoony. The poses are pretty cartoony. But the anatomy is, oh my god, I'm obsessed. I love it. I love it so much. Their anatomy is simplified, but like so well done. I love it. All of these artists, I really got to commission one day because I love all of their art so much. But Laven also has Safoam art on Twitter if you want to go check him out. He's a very, very talented artist I love. Also, the artist that introduced me to Mammoth OCs, and I loved his so much that I had to make one, and then I did. So next up is one of my friends / mutuals, Vacant Crow. Absolutely obsessed with his art. I've known Vacant/Star for quite a long time, and its art has improved drastically. I mean, it's so cool to see his art improvement over the years, really. Absolutely love the uniqueness of this one, the scratchy style, the style of rendering. In the video, I didn't render anything, but it renders beautifully. Love it. Obsessed. Next up is Kold's art style. Kold has, like, I think, we are mutuals. I think we met through Toy House. Obsessed with his art. Like, I swear to God, I'll stop saying it, but for every artist that's on here, but, you know, again, obsessed. It's like, so, the anatomy, perfect. I love it. I love it. It's so simple, but so semi-realistic and so complex. And oh my gosh, like, my mind was stressing to figure out how they do this stuff because, oh my God, it's good. But yeah, he's really talented. One day I'll commission him. But I think this one was like my second hardest attempt, besides Simp Gamer 777. This one was probably the second hardest. Mainly the eyes. The eyes were a big problem for me. The eyes and the mouth were two of the biggest problems. But I got there. I think I did okay. I completely forgot to film for this one, but this is Puppy Sphere's art style attempt. I think it's my favorite. I love, so, you know, let me talk about it. I love their use of shape language and their expressions and the chubbiness. I love it all. I wish I had more time to talk about it. So that is it. That is the whole art style attempt. I think I did pretty well. My favorites are Puppy Sphere, Getchu, and Coasty Reef, and my least favorites are Simp Gamer 777, Lavian, and Kold, mainly because I can't. Their art style, all of their art styles, I can't do it, but they're absolutely amazing. Hope you enjoyed watching. Goodbye.